Welcome to our third grade worksheet lesson number 14. And to start off, we're going to be finding the elapsed time using a clock. So looking at number 1, here it says we start off at 9:10 a.m. and ends at 10 a.m. So, and we remember that for every hour, it's 60 minutes. And so, knowing that, since a.m. stays constant throughout the times, we know that it does not pass 12, meaning that we can just simply just look at the amount of time in between it. Looking at it, 10 o'clock is basically equal to 60 minutes, and 9 is equal to just 10. So, to find our answer for number 1, we can just subtract. So we can do 0 minus 0, which is 0, and 6 minus 1, which is 5. That means our answer for number 1 is that 50 minutes have passed. For number 2, here we have the same thing, where it starts at 5 a.m. and it ends at 6:15 a.m. And since it stays a.m., we know that it does not pass 12, meaning that we can simply just find the amount of time in between 5 and 6:15. And a way of thinking about this is that from 5 to 6, we know that that is 60 minutes over here, so we can put a 60 already right here. And once you add 60 minutes to 5 a.m., it becomes 6 a.m. And since there are 15 minutes left, we can just simply add 15 to 60, and that gets us 75 minutes. And so our answer for number 2 is 75 minutes. For number 6, we have it starts at 11:35 a.m. and it ends at 1:15 p.m. And however, this time we can notice that there is a change, meaning that it goes from a.m. to p.m. So we know that it passes 12. And in our clock, we know that it goes 11, 12, and 1. So, looking at this, we know that 11:35 a.m. is in the morning, while 1:15 is in the afternoon, meaning that we can just figure out the time between here. So, looking at this, 35 minutes, we can think about this as looking at 12. So, between 11:35 to 12, there are 25 minutes. So let's put that out first. And then from 1 to 1:15, there are 15 minutes, so we can put that down too. And as of right now, we're at 12 and 1. So all we have to do is figure out how much time is in between 12 to 1. And we already know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, so we can just put 60 right here and then add it all together. So 25 plus 60 is equal to 85, and then plus 15 is equal to 100. So we know that our answer for number 6 is 100 minutes. On this next page, we'll be finding the end time using the clock. And so, the same thing starts here, but this time, instead, we know the elapsed time already. So for number 1, we know that it starts at 9:15 a.m. and the elapsed time is 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, since we know that it starts at 9:15, let's change 1 hour to 60 minutes, which means that the elapsed time is 75 minutes instead. And to get from 9 to 10, or 9:15 to 10, we know that we need 45 minutes, so let's subtract 45 from here, and that gets us 30. So as of right now, we are at 10 o'clock, or 10 a.m., and since we have 30 minutes left, we can just add 30 to 10. So then that 10 becomes 10:30 a.m. because it does not pass 12. And so our answer for number 1 is 10:30 a.m. For number 2 is the same thing. And the easiest way we can do this is just add the hour first to it, which is 60 minutes, but does not matter at this point. So 1 hour past 5 becomes 6:30. And we have 20 minutes left, so we can just add 20 to 6:30. And that becomes 6:50, and then that's our answer, 6:50 a.m. because it does not pass 12. And lastly, for number 6, we can do that for number 6 as 11:25 a.m. We can add an hour to it. However, since it becomes the morning to 12, that means that the time is going to change to p.m. So 11 plus 1 becomes 12:25. And we still have 10 minutes left, so we can just add that. And so our answer is 12:35, but there is a time change as it changes to the afternoon. So our answer for number 6 is 12:35 p.m. For this next page, we'll be using the class schedule to answer the questions. And so, number 1 asks, which activities last 45 minutes each? So looking at this, 11:30 to 9:15 a.m. That means that from 8:30 to 9, there are 30 minutes that pass, and then from 9 to 9:15, there are 15 minutes. Add these together, and we get 45 minutes. So we know that reading is one of them. We can look at math. We know from math, 9:15 to 10:15, since they have the same amount of time, we know that exactly 1 hour passed, and that is not 45 minutes. Same goes for here, as we have equal times, so we have 10:15 to 10:35, and since it states AM, we know that only 20 minutes pass here. And then for number 4, we have music, and music, from 10:35 to 11, there are 25 minutes that pass, and at 11 to 11:20, there are 20 more minutes. Add these together, and we get 45. So we know that music is also 45 minutes. And lastly, for art, 11:25 to 12 is 40 minutes, and then for 12 to 5, 12:05 is just plus 5, and then we get 45 too. And so for number 1, the activities that last 45 minutes each are reading, music, and art. And for 2, which activity is the longest? We can just look at over here at all our times that we measured already, and we know that math is the longest, which is an hour long. And for number 3, we can look at the same too. We have all our numbers here, 45, 60, 20, 45, 45, and we know that recess is the shortest, with only 20 minutes. Lastly, for our word problems, number 1, Stacy needs at least 30 minutes to get ready for school. If she leaves for school at 8:05 a.m., when is the latest she can start getting ready? So, since we know that she leaves at 8:05 a.m., if she needs at least 30 minutes, we have to basically go back in time 30 minutes to make sure that she was ready by the time she leaves for school. So, let's bring 8:05 to 8 o'clock, which is minus 5. So then that becomes 25 minutes. So currently we're at 8 o'clock. And then we can just subtract 25 minutes from 8 o'clock, which is basically 60 minus 25, which gets us 35. And so we know that 7:35 is the latest she can start getting ready, because once you add 30 minutes to it, it then becomes 8:05, which is the time she leaves for school. And lastly, for number 2, it takes Joni 28 minutes to walk to school, and it takes Jenny half an hour to walk to school. What has a longer walk? And since we're just comparing how much they walk, we know that Joni walks 28 minutes, and Jenny takes half an hour, and we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, so half an hour is just half of it, which is equal to 30. And so we know that 28 is less than 30, so we know that answer for number 2 is that Jenny has a longer walk.